Why is it that some guys have absolutely no fear when it comes to women when they are single or when in a relationship? When a guy is single, he has no fear walking over and talking to a woman, starting a conversation with her, asking for her phone number, getting her out on a date, moving in for a kiss. He has no fear when it comes to that. And when he's in a relationship, he has no fear interacting with his woman when she seems a little bit off, a little bit moody, or initiating affection or sex with her when he's not sure whether or not she's going to want it. He's able to take the chance and not be afraid of initiating something and then potentially being quote unquote rejected. Right? So why is it that some guys have no fear, whereas other guys are held back by fear pretty much their entire life? And when a guy is single, for example, if he has a fear of being rejected by women, that stops him from talking to the girl that he likes. That stops him from keeping the conversation going and making it a little bit more flirtatious, creating a sexual vibe. He's worried about doing that. He's afraid to do anything other than just have a nice chat with her. He doesn't want to seem too forward. He doesn't want to say anything wrong. He could get rejected. Additionally, it also makes some guys end up in the friend zone with women that they like for months or years, where the guy's afraid to ask her out. He's afraid to move it forward. And when he's out meeting women in bars and clubs or at parties and so forth, he's afraid to ask for a phone number or move in for a kiss or get the woman to come home with him that night and have sex with him. And in some cases, the guy is one of the guys who just stands there and looks at women. Right? So if he's at a bar or a party, has some drinks, or if he doesn't drink, he's drinking some water, and he just looks at women. Right? He finds them attractive and doesn't do anything about it. He's worried about being rejected, being humiliated in front of others, and him feeling horrible about himself and so on. So the thing is, there is a reason why some men never overcome that fear and why it holds them back their entire single life and then may rear its ugly head again when in a relationship or a marriage with a woman, right? Where he then begins to feel that fear of being rejected by her, of her losing interest if he doesn't do everything that she says. And then she's going to leave him and so forth. He never gains control over the area of his life, which is women and relationships. He always feels helpless. He always feels like he doesn't have control over it. But there is a way to conquer that fear and gain control. And one way to understand it is to look at the different reasons why some men don't ever overcome their fear of rejection. So the first one I have here is his fear is based on a few real experiences that didn't go well or what he thinks will happen if he tries. So he may have had some bad experiences when trying to talk to girls at school or at university or when he grew up and went to work and so forth. Whatever stage he is at life, he has had some experiences that didn't go well. So he then thinks, well, look, I've tried to talk to girls and make something happen, but I got rejected that time. You know, she said this to me, or she turned away, or she seemed like she was not interested or even disgusted by me or something like that. Women don't like me, right? If I try again, they're going to give me that look and then I'm going to feel horrible about myself. So he bases his fear on some experiences, whether it's one or two or a few that haven't gone well. Or he bases his fear of rejection on what he thinks will happen if he tries. So that happens for a lot of guys who watch TV, watch movies, watch music videos, or just overhear women talking, right? And they have seen in TV shows and movies guys get rejected. They've seen music videos where women are acting really tough and independent and so forth. And they've overheard women say, oh, I hate it when men do this, or this guy said that, and this guy said this, and so forth. And he's thinking, geez, women are vicious, right? If I try, I'm going to get horribly rejected, right? It's going to be brutal. And if other people see it, then I'm going to be humiliated in front of everyone. Yet the reality is that if it was that bad, then no guy would get any action with women, and no average guy or no everyday sort of guy would have a girlfriend, but they do. And you know, it would just be a really strange world if women were that vicious and that mean, like in the movies, for example, where they tip a drink in a guy's face for coming over and talking to her or something like that. It just doesn't work like that in real life. So if a guy bases his fear on bad experiences that have happened to him in the past or what he thinks will happen, then it's not going to go away. He's not going to conquer his fear of rejection. All right? So the second one is he doesn't try a new effective approach, so the rejections continue. So, for example, some guys who get rejected by women when they're single, and I'll talk about relationships in a second, but some guys who get rejected by women when they're single tend to use what I call a friends first approach, where the guy just wants to try to develop some sort of friendship with her and get along with her and just show her that he's an innocent, good guy, just wants to have a chat, get to know her. Oh, you do that for a living? Oh, how long you been doing that? That's great. And oh, wow, that's really impressive and so forth. He just wants to do that. Yet, as a result of using that approach, the woman feels like she's just talking to a friend or a coworker or just some nice person. And there's no sexual connection between him and her. So when he then tries to ask for a phone number or move in for a kiss, she recoils and she's like, oh, no, sorry if I gave you the wrong impression, right? Because she's not feeling attracted to him, right? He doesn't understand that as a man, sometimes you'll meet a woman and she'll instantly feel attracted to you even though you haven't done anything. But in every other case, if you want a woman, you have to make her feel attracted to you. You have to create feelings of attraction inside of her by actively displaying traits that are naturally attractive to women, such as confidence, masculinity, charm, charisma, humor, or social intelligence. You don't have to display them all at once. If you can just display confidence and a bit of humor, then women are going to feel much more attracted to you than if you were just being nice to them. But if you can display confidence, use some humor, and be masculine in the way that you're talking to her and a bit charming, she's going to feel so much more attracted to you and be interested in you compared to if you're just being nice to her and try to get along with her. Now, the same thing applies with relationships, where if a guy is getting rejected in his relationship in terms of his woman isn't showing him love and affection, she isn't really respecting him the way that he wants to be respected, and he keeps using the same approach that hasn't been working, then he's going to continue to get rejected, and he's not going to then conquer that fear of rejection. He's just going to end up feeling angry and resentful towards her. But, for example, if one of the reasons why she isn't respecting him or isn't showing him love and affection is that she is turned off by how sensitive he is and how easily she can walk all over him by just being in a mood, then he needs to change that. For example, in most cases in a relationship with a woman, she will say things that you don't have to take seriously, right? It's great to take your woman seriously. You respect her, you love her, you listen to her. But in many cases, she will say things where she's just being a woman and being a bit emotional or just testing your confidence to see how you're going to react in the moment. Are you the man in this relationship? Are you the one who is able to maintain control of your emotions and not get all emotional and break down and get angry and lose control, right? Are you able to maintain control of your emotions because you're the masculine one? As a man, it's important to understand that you are different to a woman. A woman goes through a menstrual cycle every month that literally has a direct effect on how she feels, right? She will have increased anxiety and mood swings at a certain time of the month. Whereas a man has a consistent level of hormones throughout the month. He's not moody and emotional like a woman. That doesn't mean a man should put up with a woman disrespecting him. Instead, you have to be able to approach the relationship in a way that causes your woman to take accountability for her behavior, where she feels motivated to respect you and she respects you. She shows you the respect that you deserve. You need to bring that side of her out. So the thing is, when a guy is single, if he's not using an approach that's going to make women feel attracted to him, and he continues using an approach that makes women reject him, such as the friends first approach or trying to be a really nice guy and so forth, then the rejections are going to continue. And if a man is in a relationship with a woman and she's not respecting him, then the rejections are going to continue unless he uses the new approach. And that's one of the things about women. Women are a natural challenge for us men, and they present an opportunity for us men to level up and become stronger, more switched on, more capable, more able to handle ourselves in social situations. Women don't reward weakness with love affection, sex, and devotion, right? They are not wired to reward weakness and breed weakness into the human race, right? They are wired to seek men who seem like they would be strong and capable, right? That's what they're trying to give their love, respect, affection, and sex to. It's a very primal and fundamental part of attraction, but talking about primal and fundamental, there's something that modern men need to get away from in terms of the past, right? So the third reason I've got here is that why a guy doesn't overcome his fear of rejection is that he thinks in a tribal way, not in a modern way, right? So for example, in a tribal way, everyone will know, everyone will care, and he will lose status if he tries to talk to a girl and she rejects him. Yet the reality is that in today's world, most people live in somewhat anonymous cities where you go through your day and you don't know anyone. You walk through your day, you might remember the person who works as a cashier, or you might remember the waitress if you go to the same cafe or restaurant and so forth, but you rarely see the same people, right? You're just anonymous. They don't know you, you don't know them, and that's how you're going through life. Now, some guys live in smaller suburbs, smaller villages, smaller towns, and so forth, but still, it's not the same as it used to be where you were just in one tribe, and if you made a bad move, everyone would find out, you would be rejected, you would be shamed, and everyone would know forever that you got rejected, right? In almost all cases in today's world, in modern society, basically no one knows and no one cares. Everyone's focused on their own life. And when I used to take guys out to approach women every weekend, I would go out every weekend on a Friday and Saturday night, and I would rarely see the same girls again. Like, it was very rare to see the same girls again. There was always a fresh selection of women, and no one was coming up saying, "Hey, I saw you here last week. You were talking to women and you're here again." No one's saying that. No one cares. Everyone's focusing on their own life. Additionally, when you go through your life, if you see a guy who seems like a normal, confident guy talking to a woman and they're getting along, right? You're most likely, I'm 99.99% sure, you're most likely not thinking, that guy's doing something wrong. Those two are getting along. That woman's laughing, he's laughing, they seem to be getting along and having a good conversation. That's wrong. They shouldn't be talking to each other, right? You're most likely not thinking that, right? Most people aren't thinking that. They just see two people getting along, having a conversation, and in many cases, the person who is single and wants to meet someone, whether it's a woman or a man, looks on and thinks, I wish that was happening for me, right? Why can't I meet someone? And so forth. They're not saying, those people are talking to each other. Everyone, stop them, right? It just doesn't work like that. But when a guy has a fear of rejection and he's thinking in a tribal way, he thinks that everyone's going to know if he talks to a woman, he's going to be humiliated and shamed for life and so forth. But the reality is no one cares. They're getting on with their life. And in most cases, they're not even going to remember you. They don't even care. They don't know you. You're anonymous. And they're also going to feel like, all right, they're just two cool people talking to each other, two normal people talking to each other, and that's it. So the fourth reason a guy won't conquer his fear of rejection and will continue on fearing rejection is that he doesn't know how easy it really is and assumes it's too difficult, so he doesn't even try. I've been helping guys for many years now, back since 2005. And most guys who are struggling to get laid or get a girlfriend, or who struggle with the fear of rejection, think that it's extremely difficult and that women are extremely picky in all cases, right? And the thing is, these days, there's a thing called dating apps that you know about, right? Yes, women on dating apps are picky because most users on dating apps are men. But when it's a one-on-one conversation between a man and a woman, it's him and her, right? Or if he's talking to her and there are a few people in the group, it's him, her, and a few people in the group, right? It's not him and her and tens of thousands of guys who are trying to match with her on a dating app, and she's just swiping through saying, nah, not interested. Oh, this guy seems handsome. He seems like he's got a good life and so forth. Yeah. Then she matches with him. It's not like that. It's you and her talking in person. And if you know how to make her feel attracted when you're talking to her, she's feeling attracted to you, right? She's in front of you, feeling attraction inside of her, starting to connect with you, starting to really like you, starting to feel turned on by you, wanting something to happen, and then you move it forward and you get a result. Of course, there's a problem with that as well, and that is a lot of guys who have the fear of rejection don't actually know how to attract women when they're talking to them. So if a guy doesn't learn how to do that and he has the fear of rejection, then what happens is that if he does get a random opportunity, which is the fifth reason here, he gets random opportunities, isn't prepared, and messes it up, which then reinforces his fear. Right? So if he doesn't know how to attract women, right, he's not ready, he's not prepared for the next conversation he has with a woman to actually make her feel attracted. He doesn't know how to do it. He gets the opportunity and he's just nice, or he's just neutral and talking to her in a neutral platonic sort of way or in a neutral friendly sort of way. That's all he does. And he doesn't get the result. The woman doesn't seem like she's turned on by him. She doesn't seem like she's sexually attracted to him. She doesn't try to flirt with him and make something happen. And he walks away thinking, well, women just don't want me. You know, I mustn't be good looking enough or something. But he then sees other guys who have a girlfriend and he thinks, well, he's not that good looking. And in fact, many of the guys who experience that think, well, I look better than him. You know, I've probably got a better job than him. I'm smarter than him. I'd treat her better than he would. What's she doing with him? Well, he was able to make her feel attracted and move things forward, because the reality is that it's not difficult to do that. Right? It's something very simple that humans can do, where if a man knows how to attract women, it's simple, right? He just talks to her, makes her feel attracted, connects with her and moves it forward. But if a man doesn't know that, then it's a huge, complicated mess, right? He talks to women and he tries to keep the conversation going, but then he runs out of things to say and the conversation just goes flat. Right? He says, oh, so what do you do? And yeah, she says what she does. And he says, oh, great. And then he's like, yeah, so, and he doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what to do to make her feel attracted. He doesn't understand that as a man, in almost all cases, if you want a woman, you actually have to create feelings of attraction inside of her so she feels a spark for you. Sometimes it happens by pure luck, and that's called getting lucky. But if you're a single guy watching this, then you would know that you would rarely, if ever, get lucky with the kinds of girls you really want, right? That girl walking by, or that girl that you saw at a party, or the girl that you got introduced to that was super cute, super pretty, and you really wanted her, but you had no idea how to make her feel attracted. You had no idea, and the opportunity slipped through your fingers. Then, if you've experienced what most guys have, you get quote-unquote lucky with a girl that isn't that attractive to you. You don't really want to be with her, but you started talking to her and she liked you right away without you having to do anything. And you may have gotten into a relationship with her, and you may have been in the relationship thinking, well, I'm not really attracted to her, and you don't really feel proud of her as your girlfriend. A lot of guys end up like that because they either never do what it takes to conquer their fear of rejection, or they say, stuff it, I'm going to talk to girls that I like, I'm going to just do it, but then the guy doesn't know how to attract her, and he gets rejected. And then he starts fearing rejection again, and he ends up thinking, well, it's just all too difficult, I might as well just stay alone, or he accepts a woman that he's not even that attracted to, he never truly loves, and he always wishes that he could have a different type of girl. That's just not the way to live your life as a man. If you want to be truly proud of yourself, if you want to truly feel fulfilled as a man, you must conquer this area of your life that is women, dating, and relationships. You must conquer it, because if you don't, it's like a dark cloud that just hangs over your head the entire time. No matter how many hobbies you partake in, no matter how hard you work, no matter what you achieve in life, if you don't actually feel confident around women that you find attractive, and you don't know how to make them feel attracted to you, and you're not able to select the kind of woman that you want, you will never feel fulfilled in this area of life. So let's look at the reasons here and quickly let you know what you need to do. So number one, his fear is based on a few real experiences that didn't go well, or what he thinks will happen if he tries. So don't base your fear on that. Don't base your level of confidence on that. Instead, figure out the right way to attract women during conversations. Do that. See that women find you attractive. Feel the confidence associated with that. do it again, have more interactions with women, and your confidence will increase. You'll get to the point where you do not fear being rejected by women because you know that you can make them feel attracted. You've seen other guys that can do that, right? You've seen a guy who doesn't even look that good, but he just has that certain something where he's able to talk to a woman and make her like him. It's not impossible to do that. It is a skill. It's something that you can learn how to do. Number 2, he doesn't try a new effective approach so the rejections continue. So if you're single and your current approach to women is causing you to get rejected, don't keep using that approach. Try something new. If you're in a relationship or a marriage and your woman is rejecting you and you're hoping that she's just going to change, try a different approach with her. Try something that's going to make her feel attracted to you, respect you, and love you. Number 3, he thinks in a tribal way, not a modern way. So don't go through life thinking that people care and everyone's going to find out if you get rejected. Just go after what you want. That's the way to succeed in today's world. You've got to be a man who goes after what he wants. And the irony is that when you do that, people actually look up to you and respect you. Think about the guys that you know who are confident with women, who go after what they want with women, and you see them getting results. You most likely either respect them or admire them or appreciate what they're doing, right? Or for some guys, they might feel a bit jealous and bitter. I hate that guy, he gets all the girls. That's going to happen too. But the reality is that it doesn't even matter anyway, right? Because you just got to go after what you want. You've got to take care of this area of your life. And if you don't, and you just leave it to chance, then in most cases, you end up in a situation where you're with a woman that you don't really feel attracted to, you don't really love. And as a result, a lot of guys in that situation, they get into a relationship with a woman like that. And as the relationship continues, they don't actually feel the motivation to put in the effort to make sure that it works. So the relationship falls apart. Yet when you're a man who can select women because you know how to attract them and you can select the kind of woman that you want and you select a woman that you are truly attracted to and you respect, then you actually continue to feel the motivation. It doesn't go away. And as a result, you're a better man in the relationship. And it doesn't mean that she doesn't have to do anything. You've got to approach the relationship in a way that makes her show you respect, show you appreciation, show you affection and love. You've got to make that dynamic. You've got to create that dynamic and bring that side out of her. Because if you don't, and you bring a bad side out of her where she's being disrespectful towards you, and she doesn't show you the appreciation that you deserve, then that will be the outcome. This is an area of life that you have to gain control over. If you don't, and you just let it run out of control, then you will experience the consequences, which are rejections when you're single, girls not feeling attracted to you when you're talking to them, women losing interest in you during a relationship and not respecting you and appreciating you, and so forth. As I said, women present a natural challenge for us men. They are not wired to reward weakness in men. They are wired to reward with loyalty, respect, sex, and love, strength in a man, where he knows what he's doing. He knows how to be a man. He knows how to handle situations, right? He doesn't lose control. That is rewarded with respect, sex, love, and loyalty. Now, number 4, he doesn't know how easy it really is and assumes it's too difficult, so he doesn't try. Just understand that until you know how to properly attract women during interactions, then you'll probably think that it's too difficult, it's too complex, it's out of your control. But when you are a man who knows how to make women feel attracted during interactions, you realize that you're in control, because you're in control of how much or little attraction you make her feel. And for example, you're in control of how confidently you react to something that she says or does, right? If you react in a nervous way or only with a little bit of confidence and she still senses a bit of fear, then she's not going to be feeling much or any attraction for you. But if you react with bulletproof confidence and she can see that you're not crumbling under the pressure, then she feels a lot of attraction for you. You're in control of that. And it's not just about confidence, of course. There are many different ways to make women feel attracted to you during a conversation, such as being charming, charismatic, socially intelligent, masculine, and using humor, for example. So there are different traits that you can display when you're interacting with her to make her feel attracted. And when you know how to do that, you interact with women, they feel attracted to you, and you get that feedback all the time. It just keeps happening where women feel attracted to you. And as a result, there's nothing to fear anymore. Instead, it's just a feeling of excitement where you see a woman that you find attractive and you have the confidence to go over and talk to her because you know that you're going to be able to make her feel sparks of attraction. And if she's single, then you're going to most likely get a result with her. If she's not single and she has a boyfriend, no problem. Just talk to another woman, right? People aren't going to suddenly get on the news and say, hey, that guy, he spoke to a girl and she was feeling attracted, but she had a boyfriend. And, everyone just point at that guy now, right? No one is going to find out in almost all cases. And if they do, they don't care, right? You're just having a normal conversation with her. You're not being sleazy and trying hard to pick her up and so forth. You're just being a guy who's naturally attractive to women. And, she has a boyfriend. Okay, no problem. Well, great to meet you. All the best. And you get on with your life. You go talk to another girl. She's single. You get her number. You go on a date with her. You kiss her. You start a sexual relationship. She becomes your girlfriend. And if you want to go further, you settle down with her. And number 5, he gets random opportunities, isn't prepared, and messes it up, which then reinforces his fear. So from now on, you are going to have random opportunities here and there where you have an opportunity to talk to a woman that you like and make her feel attracted. The question is, though, are you prepared? Do you know what to say? Do you know what to do? Right? Are you able to make women feel attracted to you during conversations, or are you just going to hope that something magically happens? You get lucky, right? As you would know, with the kind of girls you really want, that rarely, if ever, happens, right? With the kind of girls you really want who are attractive, right? They don't usually just show loads of interest in a guy and make it easy for him. You have to be able to create a spark with her, let her see that you're confident and that you're capable of holding an interaction with her, and then move things forward. And in most cases, it doesn't take that much to get an attractive woman to drop her guard and fully open up to you. It usually only takes 1 to 2 minutes of talking to an attractive woman and displaying traits that are naturally attractive to women to the point where she then looks at you and realizes, okay, this guy's the real deal. And she drops her guard and opens up and shows you a friendly, easygoing side of herself that she rarely shows to other guys because other guys just simply cannot handle talking to her. Pretty much every guy that an attractive woman meets will crumble under the pressure. He'll seem nervous. He'll be trying to suck up to her. He'll be being too nice to her. He'll be fumbling over his words and so forth. But if you're a guy who can make her feel attracted by remaining confident, and being able to use the type of humor that attracts women, or being charismatic or charming, or displaying some masculinity, having a bit of a sexual vibe if you want to do that, or displaying social intelligence, essentially just displaying traits that naturally attract women, then the woman feels attracted to you and you then have an opportunity with her. Then for some guys, they may need to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more times before they truly feel like, okay, this is real. I'm doing this on purpose. It's not just luck. I can now stop feeling the fear of rejection because I know that I can make women feel attracted to me and I know that I can move things forward. Whether the guy feels that after the first time he does it or after the second, third, or fourth time, he is then set for life, right? He's one of the guys who has conquered his fear of rejection. He's gained control over this area of his life.